How's it going, John?
It's going well tonight, Eric. How are you?
Always good.
Always good.
Always good. A little bit of a runny nose, but other than that, I'm good. So if I sniff, I'll try not to make you have to cut out too many of my sniffs.
Well, take a test maybe tomorrow once you've had it for a couple days.
Yeah.
Seeing as we had lunch yesterday.
I get my I got an email from the Postal Service saying your 4 boxes of tests should be showing up soon.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah.
I didn't get an email. And I ordered right away, too. Good.
I'll let you know when they show up.
Okay. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I was talking to somebody I know down in California, and they got theirs like 2 weeks ago. Seemingly like just days after it started. I don't know.
I have noticed that many states are now ending mask mandates, or they're ending them at the state level and allowing localities, cities, businesses to choose for themselves.
Yeah.
Like Oregon, the mask mandate goes away March 31st.
31st.
Is that right? I think that's what it is.
That's what I heard at least. Yeah, because my kid's school hasn't decided what they're going to do yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. One of the things I did this past weekend was buy plane tickets. So, presumably late March, I'll be getting COVID. I don't know. But for spring break, we're going to go do a road trip in New Mexico. Go see some state parks and hopefully an international dark sky park. I don't know. My fingers are crossed for a nice starry night.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I have done airplanes and not gotten COVID, so
my fingers will be crossed. And we're good, and we're all boosted and vaxxed, or vaxxed and boosted, something like that. And
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that will be the first trip since as a family at least, since March or February of 2020.
Right.
Well, I guess even earlier than that. I don't even remember the last trip we had as a family. But at least since lockdown, we haven't flown anywhere, done anything as a group. So that'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm like, all right, plane, minivan, and actually, I only got the first night's hotel in Santa Fe, and then I don't know where we're gonna go from there. So.
Okay.
It's going to be going to take it day by day. Hopefully that'll work out.
There you go. Hopefully you'll have a place to sleep.
Well, we have a minivan. Worst case.
There you go.
Anyway, so
do anything fun over the weekend?
I was trying to think about that. Or what I did. What did we do? The fencing started early. Though in the year. Because we put up a temporary fence to keep horses out of the grass that we want to let grow, basically, for the next couple of months. And so that it'll be, have a chance to outcompete in the spring. Otherwise you have to like spray it with round or broadleaf stuff.
Right.
So anyway, but that was, I think, mostly Saturday, and Sunday was just so beautiful. I think I tried to work, but just kind of didn't too much. We, I don't know. My wife and I were out trimming. We've been trying to get this berry line pruned before the spring comes and they start taking off. So. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like one of my little fun projects, because we've got some grapes, we've got some boysenberries, we've got some not boysenberries, what are they? Marionberries, sorry, and then some blueberries, and then 2 different types of thornless blackberries, and but it's So I've got the grapes all nicely pruned and like tied up to the stands. I've got the blueberries all like tidied up and pruned. And we were working on the blackberries when my neighbors drove by, and we sat out there and talked with them for like, I don't know, a long time, 45 minutes or an hour. And then afterwards, my wife and I looked at each other and we're like, do you actually want to work? And both of us were like, no, not really. So
no,
anyway,
take a break.
We took a break. We took a break. I went and sat on the back porch and read. It was very nice. But it's okay because I had other stuff I had intended on getting done on the weekend, like fun stuff. But I didn't. There will be another Saturday in another few days. There will
always be another Saturday.
Right.
There will always be another weekend.
So it's cool.
Now, we ended up going to the coast this weekend.
Ooh.
And it was a beautiful weekend to be out at the coast.
It was.
Partly cloudy skies, and not freezing cold, not rain. It wasn't hot. It was pleasant.
It is February.
It's Oregon in February, but my boy wanting to do more photography stuff. We went to a few different beaches, and he got some pretty good pictures. And we were trying out. I dug up my old camera equipment, and I had a polarized filter.
Okay.
And so we were taking pictures with the sun reflecting off the ocean, because the ocean was pretty active. I mean, it was pretty big swells. It was and big waves way out. So it looked really cool. He's got some really cool pictures of.
Ooh.
Multiple waves going back with the sun behind, and a not the glare and reflection that you would get if you looked at it, or took a picture with your iPhone,
right.
Kind of thing.
Without
the polarized lens. So it was polarized filter. Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. What?
Yep.
Did you go up north or down south?
Tillamook.
Yeah.
We wanted to go check out the Tillamook cheese factory.
Ice cream
I got my favorite
good.
beef jerky. Had lunch there. Ham and cheese sandwich.
Okay.
We went out to see the lighthouse, Cape Mears lighthouse, but the road was closed.
Is that the one
for traffic?
The north or to the south?
The north road was closed. You could go the south road.
Okay.
And I had the genius idea of why don't we just go park at the end of where the road's closed and then just hike the rest of the way in.
Okay.
And
how far?
It was only like a mile and a half.
Oh, okay.
More. But neither of the other people with me wanted to hike when we could drive around to the other side and just drive to it. But it was still fun. We had a nice time.
That's cool. So I'm sorry. So that's the one right above Oceanside there?
Cape Mears is the little town. So it's like you go due west of Tillamook.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Kind of past that bay and
you kind of wind around and
yeah.
Anyways, we ended up hanging out and walking up and down the Cape Mears beach, which I have to pat myself on the back. I started my little Apple Watch to see how far we walked. We walked further up and down the beach than we would have had we hiked to the lighthouse. But I didn't say anything about it.
But you thought it. That's the beach we go to for agate hunting.
For what?
For agate hunting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's a good place for agates in the winter, like after a storm. Mostly, because the winter storms kind of drag a bunch of sand out, and then it deposits it all back in the summer, and it's good at agate beach.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind next time.
I don't know. It's mostly we mostly did that when my kids were younger, when like finding agates were like very cool.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I still think they are, but I have evidently weird taste. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. That's funny that you were out there, though, because my wife and I were driving home from some errand we were doing, and it was like late morning. I want to say Sunday. And she made the comment. She's like, "It's such a beautiful day. We should totally I wish we could just go to the coast." And I was like, "Well, let's just go." And she was like, "No, the kids are at home." And I'm like, "Well, so they're fine. We text them and tell them." We could either pick them up and make them come, or we could text them and say, "We'll be back in a few hours." And she was like, "No, we need to be responsible." I'm like, "All right, well, we can be responsible. That's fine." But anyway, it was pretty funny because it was such a beautiful day. It was such a beautiful day.
The whole weekend was great.
Yeah. So anyway, it's all good. It's all good.
All right. I actually threw something in follow-up.
Follow-up?
It's been a while since we've done follow-up. But I think last week I was talking about the IRS. I had to log into an IRS account and had to sign up for this new ID.me thing, and it went through this whole verification process.
Right.
And, there were signs on the IRS saying, "We're transitioning to this. If you don't use this, you won't be able to log in." So I'm like, whatever, doing it. It was fine, I guess. Well, our Senator, Ron Wyden from Oregon, sent the IRS a letter this last week saying, yeah, you can't use facial identification you can't require facial identification for logging into the IRS website. And so we'll link to the Twitter thread. And he posted his letter that he sent to the IRS. And then just a couple of days later, which is what the Twitter link will post in here, is he got a response from the IRS saying, "Yep, it'll take some time, but we're going to fix that." So I don't know if that means ID.me is going to go away or if they're just going to remove some of the additional verification features from ID.me. And in his letter, he actually makes a point which I was thinking of. The U.S. government already has login.gov for managing identity. Why didn't the IRS use login.gov? Because I think login.gov is what I used to get global entry and TSA PreCheck, a while back.
Uh-huh.
So there's some follow-up, I guess. Maybe if maybe hold off on logging into the IRS if you don't need to with the ID.me. I don't know if that goes away because it turns out that is a private company. It's not a public company.
Yeah, what's up with that?
But it's a private company. So
in 2015, sorry, I'm reading this letter. In 2015, Congress required federal agencies to use a single sign-on service called login.gov, operated by the GSA, so that Americans would not have to maintain different accounts for each U.S. government website. I did not know login.gov existed.
I only knew it because I did the global entry thing a while back.
Did I have to do that for global entry? Is that what I...
So if you did global entry before 2015, there was a different website. If you've updated your global entry since, you would have had to transition to login.gov. So
I don't remember login.gov. But how long? I didn't realize global entry was good for more than 5 years.
It's not. I think it's 5 years.
Yeah. So it's probably my memory that's the bad thing here, not global entry. Okay.
Maybe it's only 4 years.
I don't know.
Anyways, so there's my follow-up. Just because last week I had talked about the ID.me thing, and now it might be going away. Or we'll see. So there you go.
Wow. Sorry. It's an interesting letter there. Hadn't read that.
And then for topics this week, I picked out two.
All right.
One is follow-up-ish. So this will be the transition from follow-up to topics. But it's a Wired story titled "The Fight to Repair Cars Turns Ugly." And this stems from a Massachusetts law that basically says it was a ballot measure in Massachusetts that requires automakers to give car owners and independent mechanics more access to the data about the car's internal systems. And as you know, cars are going major online right now, all over the place. And so to solve the problem, so as not to comply or to comply with the problem, some automakers, for example, Subaru and Kia Motors apparently, have basically just disabled the telematics system and the associated features on new cars registered in Massachusetts. As in the article, it says, as part of a spat over the right to repair ballot measure. But what that means is no remote start, no diagnostic reports, because I have a Subaru and it comes with a little app and you can unlock the doors, you can, get remote start. If you live in Massachusetts now, Subaru and Kia just turned that off. And they say is this was not to comply with the law. It's that compliance with the law at this time is impossible. But it was rather to avoid violating it, was a Subaru spokesman wrote in a statement. So we'll see.
Like spitefully.
We'll see where this goes. I'm sure there are legitimate concerns about having to open up your back end. And as I stare at this, I'm substituting iPhones in the place of cars here. Right? Apple controls so much and really doesn't want anybody else to mess with stuff, and it doesn't want to open up their systems to let anybody else see what's on the inside. So this is definitely not going to go away, but at least there's a ballot measure, and we'll see how long so the dealers are actually upset about this too. It's the manufacturers that are turning it off. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. So So there you go. That was my first.
I have
follow up.
I have finally got my Hyundai app working, and it's relatively cold in the mornings, and it is kind of got frost on the windows, and my wife is absolutely. I actually caught her this morning with the app on, starting the car. 7 minutes before they needed to be out in it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, you're using it," and she's like, "Oh, it's awesome." So
yeah. Technology is awesome when it works.
It is. Can I say what I think her two favorite things on the car probably are? Maybe. The first is that you can have it's got GPS or whatever, so that it says whatever the speed limit is and puts a little speed sign on the dash.
Right. On the dashboard. So
the dashboard. So if you're in a 35, it says 35.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second is automatic brightness for the lights at night. So when a car starts coming towards you or comes around a corner, it turns them to dim, or if you come up, behind a car with brake lights or red lights. So I don't know. I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying to kind of test for as I've been driving. I've driven a couple times at night. You're
QA testing your car.
I'm trying. Well,
you're trying to break it.
It's just software.
What scenario?
It's just software.
What scenario?
It's just software, and it has bugs. So this is one of the problems with a modern car. I know software. So
you're hunting the edge cases.
Yeah. Anyway, those are the two favorite. Those are the two favorite features. But anyway, so this would absolutely anger my wife dreadfully. Yeah.
All right. So the second article, and I pulled. I don't know if I'll keep this link, but I pulled the link from the New York Times. But this was all over Twitter, and memes were to be had, and jokes about this were to be had. But this is a couple who was the Justice Department seized $3.6 billion with a B worth of stolen Bitcoin and arrested a couple. And in conjunction with a 2016 hack. Anyways, so you
can't make this up.
You can't. I know you can't make some of this stuff up, but just I guess really more of this is so. Unfortunately, which is why I think I might try to find a different article. Is the New York Times article was very much matter of fact, didn't give you all the weird insides of, the things about the guy or things about the woman who describes herself on her LinkedIn page as an irreverent comedic rapper. And she's got a TikTok. She's got a TikTok. And she also goes by the alias Razzlecon. And you can go watch videos on her TikTok as it's all humorous.
I saw a number of them fly by today, but I did not watch any of them. Maybe it was yesterday, today and yesterday.
Frankly, they're you can't watch them. I mean, they're cringe. They're, I tried watching a couple and it was like, it's just, I can't. Anyways, one of the things that they talked about here is, so it is about almost 120,000 stolen Bitcoin. That's where you get your 3.6 billion. Over the last 5 years, 25,000 of those Bitcoin were transferred out of the guy's wallet. Where they somehow got transferred into his wallet. The 120,000 stolen Bitcoin got transferred into a wallet that was under his control. And 25,000 of those Bitcoin were transferred out of that wallet over the last 5 years using a complicated series of transactions meant to obscure that the currency had been stolen from Bitfinex. So through attempting to do money laundering on a blockchain, where by definition, the blockchain shows you where all the transactions go, which, there's anyways. So law enforcement apparently gained access to the wallet after they obtained a search warrant that gave them entry to the encrypted files on the guy's cloud storage account. So he'd saved his private keys, his magic keys. It doesn't say which one, but like on Google Drive or in his iCloud account or on Dropbox, he stored his private keys out there, which is smart, backup in case you lose them. But also, here's a problem with doing that. Yeah, law enforcement can get access to that data, and so they went and seized the remaining Bitcoin worth about 3.6 billion and arrested a couple people.
Wow. Says it was worth 71 million when it was hacked.
Yeah, in 2016, that much Bitcoin was 71 million, now 4.5 billion. Nice.
Wow. Wow. I didn't realize it had gone up that much.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Those are the two fun things that I said. Well, no, these are something fun.
No,
they're not fun.
No.
They're things.
They're things.
The second one was kind of funny, though.
All right, I probably need to try to watch one of those cringe videos, just for personal edification. But I don't know. We'll have to see if I can bring myself to do it.
I don't think that's what I'll. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
That's not how it works.
No.
Well, the article I chose was a record one, The Record, about Microsoft disabling the MSIX protocol handler because it was being abused. So this is the new way to install software.
So that's how Microsoft has been upgrading things. You went from XLS to XLSX, from PPT to PPTX, from MSI to MSIX.
Exactly.
I think I see a pattern here.
XML, all the things. Yeah. So in like another 2 or 3 years, when everything's YAML and JSON is passé, everything will be MSIJs.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, so there's like a couple layers of jokes in there, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. So, specifically because the Emotet gang has been abusing it over the last 3 months, it says, to deploy malware. So, MSIX is, I haven't written an installer for this. So, I don't
ever.
I've never, yeah.
Me either.
Yeah. You know, I like make files. Make files are easy. I don't think that's how most people like to install software. Okay, so what am I saying here? Oh, so the point of this is that it can have a manifest, and it can basically say, hey, on the different platforms or different versions, these are the different files that you want. So the point of it is, one of the points of it is that you can have kind of a multi-platform installer, even though it works on any platform you want, so long as that platform is Windows. But in classic, what is Eric's famous quote, "You didn't stop to think whether or not you should." They made it so that they have a protocol handler for these types of packages. And so it says, for convenience, an MSIX packaged file can be delivered via the internet via the MS-app installer protocol. So you can basically have
That's very convenient.
A URI that says, MS app installer, and then what the source is. And then it will helpfully go download the file for you and then, do what's necessary. So the problem, though, is evidently that Emotet found a way to spoof signatures in the packaged files. And I did at least a little bit of digging. And so maybe there's another URL that explains this more. But the Microsoft Threat Center article didn't have the details. And I went and I looked at the CVE to see if it had some more details, and it didn't. So, like, how exactly they're spoofing the signatures, I'm not sure. But it does say that they delivered an initial patch for the issue back in December, and provided some GPOs or group policies so that you could configure whether or not to enable or I think disable the protocol handler. But evidently that wasn't enough. And so they're basically just completely disabling the protocol handler for the moment and telling people, if you're trying to use the protocol handler MS app installer on your website or something else, just basically put a URL to the MSIX, have them download it, run it. Yes, the downside there, the side effect is you'll wind up downloading all the files instead of just the files appropriate for your version of Windows. But, well, this is why we can't have nice things. So,
okay.
Yeah. Was there anything else I missed on my notes here? So it does say that it's temporary, so maybe it'll come back. Who knows? If they figure out a better way to do that. Spoofing signatures. I don't. Yeah. Without knowing more about it, I don't know how they do that. I'm going to guess that the signatures aren't real signatures. That's what I'm going to guess.
Okay. They're spoofed ones.
Because really, I mean, setting up real signing infrastructure is something that actually takes work, and I don't know how easy it is to create these MSIX files. But given the fact that most people don't sign PowerShell scripts or anything else, if it's homegrown protocol handlers or homegrown MSIX files, it would not surprise me. And with, everyone's an admin. So clicky. Are you sure you want to install Emotet? Yes, please. That's exactly what I downloaded.
That sounds like something I'd want to do.
Anyway. All right. That was my article for the day.
All right.
For the week.
Well, you want something fun?
Absolutely. Hit me.
So I decided, as Valentine's Day is coming up on Monday, coming up soon.
All right. Before we next record.
Yeah, I would go look up some fun facts about Valentine's Day, which I got from Wikipedia. So we can link the Wikipedia Valentine's Day article for additional fun facts about Wikipedia. Right. So, for example, in Slovenia, Saint Valentine was one of the saints of the spring, the saint of good health, and the patron of beekeepers and pilgrims.
Awesome.
So there you go. I pulled that one out for you, John.
I love it.
A proverb that says Saint Valentine brings the keys of roots. Plants and flowers start to grow on this day. It's celebrated as the day when the first work in the vineyards and in the field commences. It is also said that birds propose to each other or marry on that day.
Huh.
That's Slovenia. In Latin America, so most Latin American countries, Valentine's Day is known as the Dia de los Enamorados, and it's the Day of Lovers, or Dia del Amor y la Amistad, the Day of Love and Friendship. And it's also common to see people perform acts of appreciation for their friends. In Guatemala, it is known as Dia del Cariño, which is Affection Day. And some countries, in particular the Dominican Republic and El Salvador, have a tradition called Amigo Secreto, which is Secret Friend, which is a game similar to the Christmas Secret Santa tradition.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
Some fun. Japan was a fun one. So in Japan, a company, Morozov Limited, I guess, introduced the holiday for the first time in 1936 when it ran an advertisement aimed at foreigners. Later in 1953, it began promoting the giving of heart-shaped chocolates. Other Japanese confectionery companies followed suit thereafter. And in 1958, a department store ran a Valentine sale, and further campaigns during the 1960s popularized the custom. Now, here was the custom, though, which I find this slightly humorous. The custom was that only women give chocolates to men, and it may have originated from the translation error of a chocolate company executive during the initial campaigns. So, in particular, office ladies give chocolates to their coworkers, and unlike Western countries, gifts such as greeting cards, candies, flowers, dinner dates are uncommon. And the most gifts-related activity about giving is the right amount of chocolate to each person. So Japanese chocolate companies make half their annual sales during the Valentine's holiday.
Wow.
And it goes on. There's some more stuff about how many women feel obligated to give chocolates to all their male coworkers. There are some, anyways, there's some additional notes in there. But in the 1980s, the Japanese National Confectionery Industry Association launched a successful campaign to make March 14th a reply day, where men are expected to return the favor to those who gave them chocolates on Valentine's Day, calling it White Day for the color of the chocolates being offered. So that's Japan. That's Japan. And then
I think the Confectionaries Association is probably like, we also need a holiday in April and maybe May.
That's right. That's right. And then I just picked out one more on St. Valentine's Day in Ireland. Many individuals who seek true love make a Christian pilgrimage to the shrine of St. Valentine in Dublin, which is said to house relics of St. Valentine of Rome. And they pray to the shrine hoping to find romance. And there lies a book in which foreigners and locals have written their prayer requests for love. So just a few fun facts about Valentine's Day. I enjoy the Japanese one. And there's others about China, Malaysia. There's some about Iran. The one, for example, in Iran, it's become very popular among the youth, but the not youth, the olders, the old people,
the us's,
look at it more as a pure Western, decadent failure. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of them. So we'll link in here the Wikipedia article on Valentine's Day and just go through and read some of the different how Valentine's Day is celebrated in other countries.
Okay, that's fun.
There's my something fun.
That's cool. Very, very apropos.
I tried.
Yeah, mine is not like that. I'm sorry. So we're gonna have to segue from Valentine's Day to novel polymers.
I enjoy me a good novel polymer.
So the article I chose was, well, actually, I had gotten an article from India Times, and then I was like, I bet you MIT has their own article on this because they were basically referencing MIT. So the link that I'll put in here is to the MIT article. I also kind of wanted to triple check that it was legit because there were some claims being made in here that seemed relatively wild because it is a novel polymerization process. It says MIT chemical engineers have created a new material stronger than steel, light as plastic, and easily manufactured in large quantities.
Nuclear fusion.
Right?
Fission.
Fusion is the hard
thing.
Fission we have. We've had fission for a long time.
That's right. Fusion is the one we want.
Fusion is what we want.
To run my car.
Yeah. Well, let's take it. Let's take it for powering cities first. But yeah. So this is. It says it's a two-dimensional polymer that self-assembles into sheets, unlike all other polymers which form one-dimensional spaghetti-like chains. And until now, scientists had believed it was impossible to induce polymers to form 2D sheets. So, let's see, Michael Strano is the professor of chemical engineering at MIT and the senior author of the study. Says such material could be used as a lightweight, durable coating for car parts or cell phones, or as a building material for bridges or other structures. We don't usually think of plastics as being something you could use to support a building, but with this material, you can enable new things. It has very unusual properties, and we're very excited about that. So they filed 2 patents. There's the MIT postdoc. I don't know. It says. Oh, I guess the professor is the senior author, and the postdoc is the lead author. I guess okay. I don't know which. Presumably the professor gets the majority of the credit. I don't know. Anyway, so the what does it say? It says they call it a polyaramide, but they use a compound called melamine. Feels like isn't that what they use for tabletops? It says it contains a ring of carbon and nitrogen atoms, and that under the right conditions, these monomers can grow in 2 dimensions, forming disks. Then the disks stack on top of each other, held together by hydrogen bonds between the layers, which make the structure very stable and strong. So, it says that the mechanism happens spontaneously in solution, And after we synthesize the material, we can easily spin coat thin films that are extraordinarily strong. So, let's see. I don't know. They call it 2DPA. You know, part of the environmentalist in me is like, oh my gosh, this thing is, how do you ever get rid of this thing now? Right?
Right. You thought plastics in the ocean were bad.
Exactly. But let's see. They call it 2DPA. And let's see what else. It says that since it can be made in large quantities by simply increasing the quantity of the starting materials. And then here's the measures. It says the new material's elastic modulus, a measure of how much force it takes to deform, is between 4 and 6 times greater than that of bulletproof glass. They also found that its yield strength, or how much force it takes to break the material, is twice that of steel, even though the material has only about 1/6 the density of steel. And it's impermeable to gases. While other polymers are made from coiled chains with gaps that allow gases to seep through, the new material is made from monomers that lock together like Legos, and molecules cannot get between them. So, there you go. That's my something fun that seemed, I don't know, there were some claims in the article that I was like, really? So, but the link we'll put in here is to the actual MIT, and it's not April 1st. So I don't know. Part of one of the things I'm kind of like completely and utterly science fiction-y is, you know, at what point do we get to where we can make a material cheaply enough, strong enough that we could actually make a space elevator? That would be cool.
See, and I was just thinking, I wonder if you could make this in such a way that you could 3D print with it. I was 3D printing some stuff earlier, and so I'm like, that might be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, they mentioned spin coating stuff earlier. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It will be fun to watch. 2DPA. Oh, sorry, 2DPA-1.
Yeah, see, it even sounds like a filament for your 3D printer.
Right?
ABS, PLA, PETG.
2DPA-1.
2DPA-1.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right, John.
All right, my friend. There you go. Something fun. Have a great Valentine's Day, evidently. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
This is good.
On Monday.
On Monday.
On Monday.
Right. I won't forget. All right. Have a great week. I'll talk to you later.
We'll see you, John.
Bye.
Bye.